So, other types of government intervention. What are we talking about? Well, we can also have pollution permits. And pollution permits are great because they create their own little markets. So, who gets to pollute can be decided through the give and take of supply and demand and how much people really want to pollute. So, the government will collect a bunch of pollution permits and it will say, different companies that are currently polluting different amounts. Here is your kind of allocation of how much pollution you're allowed. And if you want, you can go and sell that to somebody else. And so the companies that just really have to pollute to produce what they need to produce, they will buy the pollution permits. But other companies that can find some sort of innovation to reduce how much they pollute, they can cash in on that innovation because suddenly they can then go cut their pollution and sell their spare pollution allowance, and they can literally go and sell that to another company. And so they've done this in, for example, Chinese cities, and it's massively reduced pollution in a way that hasn't hurt industry that much. Obviously, it still does to some extent because polluting industries have to spend a lot of money on permits, and the non-polluting industries have to spend resources coming up with the innovations that reduce their pollution. But it means it's a nice way of trying to reduce pollution based off how easily companies can actually cut their pollution while still producing what they want to produce, rather than just deciding in advance, pardon me, how much the government thinks is reasonable, because obviously the government has limited information. So the government can't work out in advance what industries are going to be able to work out innovations to reduce their pollution. So it can instead give out these permits and allow there to be a market in the permits. And it works reasonably well. Obviously, it's not very liberal in the sense that it's still the government's coming in and telling companies how much they can pollute and putting in these top down restrictions. But if you don't care about that and your goal is reducing pollution, then it's a reasonably economically efficient way to do that. So that's another government intervention.